apply to everybody. Hell, 1,000 experience is not going to apply to everybody. But at the end of the day, what I stated was I've seen, especially in the middle school to high school years, where insecurities are really highlighted a lot. Okay. Yes, where they're highlighted a lot. And I've literally had conversations with, you know what, Corey, you're funny. You're absolutely funny. Because seeing is experience. That's experience as well. And as a matter of fact, on the doctoral level, I can utilize
Where's
that.
your excuse me, where's y'all office to pick up a trailer?
Oh,
Okay.
but mute that man. Cause what is he doing? See, he doing too much. So when I say I've seen on various levels, I can literally use that experience. Can I, Noble? And you're an educated man. Don't you know that experiences has literally been written in research?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if I say it's been seen, it's an experience, I can document that as qualitative research. If I get enough samples, I can utilize that, and it then becomes a true to life study that will then be put in books if it's written well enough and the evidence supports it. And I guarantee you that evidence will be supported because it talks about the most vital stages in a child's life happens between middle school and high school. Some of those major experiences where we become more knowledgeable of who we are, where we begin to gain more self-awareness, where but our peers play a big role in how we see ourselves. It is not until most people are older, and some of you people, and I'm saying that some of you people still don't know who you are, and you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old, you're 50 years old. But at the end of the day, we are not a monolithic people. And life experience can still be relegated to fact, whether you agree with it or not. What's your next question, Noble?
Corey, did you have any rebuttal before we move on?
Me personally, I don't think the insecurities and everything comes from the adolescence. I mean, everybody has been picked on, bullied. Only the weak people, let it affect them. I never was the person that let what another person speak and say about me affects me and my life and my triumph. So I mean, even if I watch kids grow up, and I have dealt with a lot of kids. I mean, I ran a business with my nephews and everything. And even my nephew told me the other day what I was trying to teach him and the thick skin and all this and coming up in life. It helped him in the where he at right now in life. And, he ain't running around here. He just had his first kid. I congratulate him on it and everything. But, I have seen kids that haven't let what people say about them affect. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't think insecurities, you know, they come from being teased by your counterparts, your adolescent friends, your childhood. I don't think that. Because we all know we joke, we rank on each other, we talk about each other mama. We all grew up doing it. And that didn't affect none of us. None of us. So I don't as a male, I ain't never seen it. If somebody ever say I called them something and it affected them and they changed, I ain't never seen that. And I'm speaking from a male standpoint of view.
So because
So
you didn't see it, it didn't exist. All right.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't exist, but how you
That's
applying it,
literally what you
how
just
you
said. Did he
no
not
no
just
no
say that,
no.
Noble?
I
Is that
said
not
no
what he
no
just said?
no
Oh
no.
my God.
What I said
No,
is
that
for
is what you
me. Hold
said.
on, I'm speaking for me and for the people I know. See, now you trying to change what I said and say
No,
and applying it
you
to whole.
said that.
Nope, nope, nope. You remember you say you was just talking about your brother? I say I was talking about because I gave the example of my little nephew and
Yeah,
what I
yes,
did
you
and what I
did,
did right.
but
So
Corey.
hold on, I wasn't speaking about a whole. I was speaking about
Oh my
me.
God.
I was speaking about me and my people. I wasn't speaking. No, you see how that
No,
goes?
but
No,
Corey,
no,
you
whoa,
literally
you
just
know.
contradicted
No,
yourself.
I
I'm telling you.
didn't.
See,
No, I
I'm
didn't.
listening. I'm
No, I
listening
didn't.
not to
You
respond, but I'm
listening
listening
too
to
hard.
understand.
You listening
I'm
too
listening
hard.
too hard. No, no,
Listen. Who
Corey,
was I speaking on? Who was
what
I
you
speaking
said,
on?
Corey,
Who was I speaking on?
you said the people I grew up with, we ranked on each other. We did this, that.
Talked about each other, mama.
Yeah, talked about each other, mama. It never bothered them. How do you know it never bothered them? Because they didn't
Because
tell you?
the way I see them move,
Because, but,
and the
but,
way
but
I know, and the
because
way
they
I know
didn't
they live
tell
their
you
life.
doesn't mean it didn't exist, is the point.
All right, so how, because your brother told you everything, it all existed.
In,
That's just
in
your
his
that's just
life,
your
it only existed
but
in
for hold
his
up, in
life
his life, but for all the kids you seen growing up from middle school to
that I talked
collegiate
to. Yeah.
that you talked to, it happened also in their life because you talked to them. So
Yeah,
everybody
but
you
see,
know
but
and you can't
I didn't talk to
hold
all
on. I
children
gotta
in middle
finish.
school. I didn't
Okay.
talk to all children in high school.
Yeah.
I just talked to the ones that came to me and talked to me about it. So it was something that was widely seen.
Did you talk to them as adults?
Sir, I don't need to
I asked
talk to
one
them.
question. I asked,
But I don't
so you
need
know
to
it
talk to them as adults.
because it affected them as an
The
adult.
insecurities existed. That's the point that was being made. I said they took root then, and then they may have been highlighted as an adult. So, see, again, your understanding is very low level, honey.
No,
Oh my God.
see, Lord,
It
that's when I
is.
start disrespecting people because they want to try to, oh, you're low. No,
But it
you're
is.
trying to make something. Listen, this is why I don't believe in therapy right there because weak-minded people like that, like for real, weak-minded people that say you gonna let somebody else's opinion affect me in life. That's what a weak-minded person does,
Well,
right
if you
there.
say that,
No, no,
sweetheart,
no.
no,
Hold on.
uh-uh.
You want to insinuate me, so why I can't insinuate the
I'm not,
weak-minded people like you now?
I'm not
You no,
insinuating
you just say
anything.
my
You're
understand.
proving
You say
my
my
point.
level of understanding is low level.
Yes, your
Why? Because
understanding is very
I don't
low.
listen. I don't see what people can do to affect you in your life. You can't change being
Exactly,
short.
Red
Hold
Hazel.
on, hold on.
Red
You
Hazel,
can't
you are absolutely
listen.
correct.
You can't change. You can't change being short.
Right,
You can't
Tavia?
listen. You can change being fat, but listen. Look how many people. What they doing now? Trust me, I done lost weight, but it don't feel good on me.
Well, good for
I'm
you, sir.
comfortable with my size, but you can't change being tall. You can't change certain things in your life. So guess what? How are you gonna say this affected me? I'm older now and I'm still short. It affected me. It affected me. No,
Yeah,
you
Tavia,
ain't never
it
talked to these
is.
people. You ain't never talked to these people as an adult now and know that it affects them. You
But I
never.
don't need to talk to them as an
Yeah.
adult if the point that I was making is that those
No.
insecurities started, like I said. Noble, did I not say that? Did I not say those insecurities took root when they were adolescents? Did I not say
That's
that?
exactly what you said.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Okay, but you
Case in
say
point
they
closed.
took root as
I don't have
adolescents.
anything else to say.
How do you know
Okay.
they affected them as an adult? That's the problem. You talking about as a child. Done. Now as an adult, it's something that they dwell on and it's something that they sit behind and shiver at night or whatever. No, that's not. Come on, man.
All right. So we're gonna move on. All right. So I want us to talk about a couple more things. I'm going to play this audio behind. Corey spoke on this earlier, but we're gonna hear what Dr. Cassie J. Becoming has to say about what I'm about to play. And to all the ladies in here, I'm interested to hear, what y'all thoughts are on this as well. Men use virtue as a tool to demonstrate their. That's where we go. Post-nut clarity is the reason why a lot of women get ghosted. And I really need us as women to understand this. A lot of women do not understand
how focused on sex most men are. And this is a hill I will die on. Outside of a professional environment, maybe even in them sometimes, a lot of your interactions with men, that man has considered you sexually in that moment. And what happens is the thought is appealing enough to him, he will go into hunt mode. Now, when men are in mode, confusion. Because men will do and say almost anything to get the box. You can think a man is in love with you because he wants the box so bad. Men have dropped the bag to get the box. There is not a lot that a lot of men will not do to get their box if they are thirsty for it. And men are always thirsty for the box. It's just whose. So what happens is men are operating a lot of times from horniness. And horniness to men is like hunger. So imagine just when you are so hungry. When you are hungry, you just want to eat so bad. So you're looking for food. And sometimes you can finally get the food. And what happens? You feel sick. That is the exact definition of post-nut clarity. So that man wants your box so bad. And he's putting so much pressure and just doing everything to make you happy so he can get it. And when he gets it, it's like he's woken up and he's like, hold on, what's going on here? Oh, no. And that is why a man can go from 0 to 100 with you like that. So ladies, this is why I always say, when you are dating a man, make him court you consistently. And I'm talking about over months, several months. And also give you a commitment before you ever let him taste the box. And the reality is, a lot of you know what I'm saying is the truth because you can look back on your dating history and see situations where this has happened. So ladies, now we are more clued up. Let's do better. Now, like I always say, there's...
All right, so Dr. Cassie J becoming...
Don't you ever in your natural...
I would just like to know what your honest, raw thoughts are on what you heard this woman from the UK just say. And, you're your own individual person. You can't speak for all women. I'm going to ask you a question that I would like for you to answer. And it's just your opinion. So to whatever her answer is going to be, to all the women in here, please don't get mad at her for whatever her answer is going to be. I'm just asking her how she thinks women should go about this. She's a 44-year-old woman. She's very beautiful. She's a woman that has the pick of the litter, like a lot of her peers. The woman that, if y'all don't know what she looks like, y'all can go on her page and see what she looks like. This is a woman that, she has from 22 all the way to 70. Okay. Again, a lot of her peers, we already know. I'm not gonna get into that. But Miss Cass, I just want to hear what your honest, raw thoughts are on what you just heard. And I want to hear from you, Miss Cass, how do you think women should go about, I don't want to say when do you think is an appropriate time for a woman to give up the box to a man, but how do you think a woman should go about assessing if and when she should give a box to the man?
All right. Me personally, I believe me personally, I'm not going to give it up to a man. He'll have to wait. Ain't no test driving my car. But I believe that every woman determines that ultimately. If she feels secure in her decision to lay down with a man, be it the first date or after she's married to him, I think that is truly based on that person's own core values, their morals, how they believe. Because I have friends, associates rather, who gave it up the first night and have been married for years. So I believe that, you have to have self-awareness at the end of the day. Having self-awareness, knowing who you are, and being confident in the choices that you make, I think that plays a big part in how you move with a man or with a woman. But I think that plays a major role in how you move. But your convictions are your convictions. Who am I to tell you, oh, no, don't sleep with no guy on the first night? Now, I taught my daughters, you wait. And when he's earned all the respect, and you've earned all the respect, then if whatever choice you choose, just know that whatever choice you choose, be willing to accept the consequences that follow. So yeah, ultimately, I think it's up to the individual woman. I don't think it needs to be, there should be a predicated time, or a date or a specific waiting period. I think that is up to the individual, really.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with you. That woman in the video was talking about, I think one of the last things she said was like, you should secure a commitment from a man, like before, giving up the box or whatever. And I just think it's important for women, especially young women. I think it's important for them to know that at the end of the day, if that man doesn't have good intentions for you, whether it's the first night or whether it's 3 months later or whether it's 6 7 months down the line, if he doesn't have any intentions of having any sort of relationship with you, like whenever he gets it, like he's gonna throw up the peace sign to you. So, and I'm about to get into something else. I think a lot of women, doing the whole waiting thing, and unfortunately, this is just a part of dating, not everyone is genuine. People do have ulterior motives. And sometimes us as men and women, we can't really read those ulterior motives. So you're spending this time getting emotionally invested into a man or woman. But let's talk about the woman right now. You're spending this time getting emotionally invested in a man that really has no good intentions for you at the end of the day.
Right.
Um,
I agree with that.
and then one last thing, a lot of you women, there's you guys often will be dealing with men, and men won't, like, make passes at you to sleep with you, despite the fact that they'll be taking you on dates, excuse me, or courting you, as people like to say these days. And y'all think that because, he's not making a pass at you to sleep with you, that another woman somewhere else is not satisfying those needs of his, or that he's not getting those needs satisfied elsewhere. And I just want to, like, inform you, women, I'm not saying all men do this or majority of men do this, but just know that not because a man is not pressing you to sleep with you, that he's not getting his needs fulfilled elsewhere. And then the last thing I'm gonna say is, we're also living in a day and time, and Corey, I'll have you speak on this after she speaks on this. That we're also living in a day and time where, you woman will, play the waiting game or whatever, get all emotionally invested, and then when when y'all put out for the man or whatever, if y'all aren't satisfied, we're living in a day and age where y'all will, like, completely see the man in a completely different light. Like this woman was talking about, post nut clarity for men. We're living in a day and age, like, if the woman wasn't satisfied with what the man had to give, like a lot of women are walking away from these men.
Yeah,
Despite the fact that they
absolutely.
spent all this time being emotionally invested. So my question as a man is, okay, if that means that much to you as a woman, if you want to be satisfied and you don't want to work with a man, you want him to already be able to just make you feel however the first time, then what's the point of waiting then? Why not figure that out earlier on and then, go from there?
Well, number one, you really, and I don't care if you are a man or a woman, I believe in liberation for both men and women. But again, there's a price that comes along with that. I don't care about the double standard that exists, because it does. But it's important, again, if you make a decision, be willing to eat the consequences that come with that decision. So if people decide they wanna figure that out early on, hey, more power to you. You move in a light that works best for you. Do that. Move in the way that works best for you. But again, with my own daughters, I taught them to wait. And my oldest daughter ended up marrying a guy who was also a virgin. They were both virgins when they got married, because that's something that I preached, and I was very transparent and open even about my getting married early in life and all of that. So I think it's important that we as individuals, we have to know ourselves. That self-awareness is so important. That's why you shouldn't be out here screwing every light bulb in every socket, because you want to give yourself to somebody who is of quality, and you want to gain experiences that are going to be helpful for you even in those experiences. But you shouldn't do it. I don't think you should do it so frequently that you lose sight of who you are in the process. So take some time to learn who you are, set some high standards for yourself, set boundaries for yourself, because your boundaries are for you. They are not for other people. And when people don't respect those boundaries, you then know you don't want to lay with them. Like, you know right on. If they aren't willing to honor a boundary that you set, then they don't deserve your body. And that's male and female. But I still believe that people should move the way that they feel comfortable moving in this life, but be ready to accept the consequences for your choices. Because everybody does not have good intentions. Everybody, some people have ulterior motives. Some men are out here to get another notch in their belt. And let me say this, and it probably, let me be real. It's some females out here that's just trying to get notches in their belts. They don't care about a body count. And that's a whole nother conversation, because that's stupid to me. But anyway, because when you have boundaries set and you're moving the way you want to move in life, then your body count don't matter. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. I got a 2-hole theory. I worry about my 2 holes and nobody else's matter.
You worry about your own pocketbook.
Yeah, but I got 2 holes. I worry about my 2 holes. I don't worry about nobody else's.
Right.
Because I have autonomy over that.
Right.
And everybody else, you have autonomy over yours. So move the way you move. Just be willing to accept those consequences, and be able to live with those consequences at the end of the day. Girl, Vanessa.
Okay, I'm about to Corey. I'm gonna have Miss Cass answer this question first, and then I want you to answer this after. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say, Corey. And I want you guys to say whether you do or don't, and I want both of you to please elaborate on why your is what. So starting with you, Miss Cass, do you think that for both men and women, do you think having sex early on clouds has the ability, or definitely does, like, cloud someone's, let me not say definitely does. Do you think it's, what am I trying to say? Do you think having sex early on with someone has a strong possibility of, clouding the judgment of, clouding that person's judgment of the other person?
I do. Personally, I personally think yes. Because sometimes we can become inundated with the physicality and not pay attention to some of the red flags, because if it's good, you will overlook certain things that could be crossing boundaries that you have set for yourself. But I think when we go into those situations, I think it could be either or. I think it has the possibility to cloud that judgment, especially for women, because, and Devon, you are absolutely right, because we are more emotional. That's why if a woman cheats on a man, Yeah, she gone really because we're emotional for us. With men, it's more physical. So I don't believe that it really clouds a man's judgment a lot, but with women, it definitely does. So yeah.
Okay. Corey, what are your thoughts, Corey?
So your question is being intimate with each other what now?
Yeah, do you think being physically intimate with each other early on has a strong possibility of clouding, that person's judgment of the other person?
No. And the reason I'm saying no is if you came together with this person, and I'm not talking about them random hookup at the clubs, but I'm talking about maybe you talked to somebody, y'all vibe that night, and then y'all decided to hook up. If y'all knew y'all wanted to be on that level and it was a sexual thing, you know, if you talking about we gonna have a relationship also, like y'all know y'all gotta keep up this same type of energy. You can't jump in a relationship and just saying we gonna be sexual because you basing it off of sex. If that's what it is, you gotta keep it that way 24/7. You just can't say, well, look, we was great having sex in the beginning, but now nah, because one person, they're not gonna stick for it. So I don't think it clouds the judgment. You never gonna find a perfect person in this world. You never gonna find a perfect person that check all your boxes, match everything. I don't care what it is. So you gotta. It's what foundation you want to build it off of. That's how I look at it. If you saying our foundation of our relationship is built off of us being intimate with each other, it is what it is. We done seen divorces that done happen because one don't want to give it up as much as they used to give. So I mean, it's based off the foundation that you build it off of. It doesn't have to cloud nobody's judgment. You know what you want. Some men are willing to do whatever it takes for a woman. Some women are willing to do whatever it takes for a man. It is what it is. I mean, if you offering it, just give it up to that person that way. It is what it is. I see it like that. I don't think it clouds the judgment.
Okay, you just brought something up that I want to ask both of you about before we move on to the next very spicy topic. So this is I'm a young man. But from my personal experiences, and I've never really heard of I don't think it's common for people, men and women, to actually have the conversation about sex when they're getting to know someone, when they're in the process of entering a relationship with someone, when they're in a relationship with someone. So what I mean by that is um drive, like sex drive. The conversation about how frequently someone wants to be hunching or likes to hunch. um I don't look I don't I don't know, especially at my age demographic. I don't know by the studies if men have a higher drive or if women have a higher drive, but I just want to know from the two of you that have a lot more life experience than myself. Miss Cass, I know you've been married before. Corey, I know you have children. Um, have y'all do y'all think it is important that two people have that conversation and get that understanding between each other before even getting into a relationship? Because you know there's some men out here that they need it before they go to work, you know what I'm saying? And when they come home from work, after they get out the shower, they need it before they go to bed. You know, every woman is not trying to sign up for that. Every woman is not trying to be in that dynamic. Shit, some women might not even want to be hunching every day. You know what I'm saying? Lower, what's up, OG? So my question to you two, starting with you, Ms. Cass, do you think that is a conversation that is had enough? And do you think that it is a conversation that is essential to have before even, entering into an exclusive committed relationship with another person?
It is definitely a conversation that must be had if you want to maintain a healthy relationship, because that is a part of a healthy relationship, and it depends on who the individuals are. If you somebody like me, I saw Devon, he said for him it's 3 times a week. For me, hey, when I get remarried, it's gonna have to be about 5 for me. I mean, hey,
3 times a week?
that's what he said. I say for me,
Three
it's
times a week in a relationship? I'm sorry, Miss Cass. Devon the God. Are you talking about literally only like 3 times in a whole 7-day period with a woman that you're in an exclusive committed relationship with? Only 3 times? Like maybe one time on Monday, one time on Thursday, and one time on Sunday? Or are you talking about you doing it like 3 days out the week, but maybe a couple or few times during the day? I'm sorry, Miss Cass. Go ahead. 3 times a week in a relationship?
uh, but no, I think that is a vital and significant conversation that should be had. Um, for me, it's always been a conversation because I'm a great communicator, and I like to front load stuff so that we are not playing catch up later. You always want to front load stuff like that, especially if you're in a serious relationship with someone or planning to go into a serious relationship with someone. All of those conversations should be had. So yes, it is very important because I believe it establishes a precedent for your relationship. And then you can talk about that's when you can communicate how you're feeling. They can communicate how they feel about it, and you come up with a compromise, or you come up with an idea of what you should expect. Or and really, again, I said don't have expectations, but when you have even had this conversation and each individual has shared their perspective and point of view, if you come up with a compromise, then that's the expectation that you have set together in that relationship. So that is something that you can have an expectation for, because I think it's more so an objective at that point more than an expectation. So yeah, I think that's something I've always had the conversation about. Before I married my ex-husband, that was a conversation. And I got married when I was 23. And at 23, I had that conversation. In my last relationship, that was a conversation we had. And of course, I was in my 30s at that point. But that was still a conversation that I had. So yes, I think it is a vital conversation to have. But again, I think it also takes a level of maturity to have that conversation too, not just a level of maturity but a level of self-awareness, because you have to know yourself. And also, we evolve, we are ever changing, we are constantly changing as people, and so those conversations must also be revisited when things occur in life. Because what if that man gets hurt on his job? That's going to change some things. So we have to come back and revisit that conversation, set new objectives in that particular area of our relationship. Yeah, so I think it is. It's very vital to have.
Corey? Corey, you on mute. Okay, Corey. Oh, okay. Um, okay, guys, we're just gonna wait a minute for Corey here. If he's not here within a couple minutes, then we'll have Miss Cass speak on something else. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Make sure you subscribe to the link in the bio. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this backup page can hit 10,000 followers by the end of this week. When this page hits 10,000 followers, I'm going to get access to something called TikTok Live Studio. And I'm going to I'm going to be able to live stream from a desktop and have a webcam and be able to like be on the internet, watching stuff in real time with y'all. If that's something that I want to do, I'm not coming back to TikTok, but you know, if I do pop up every now and then, it's gonna be crazy. So make sure let's try to get this page to 10,000 followers by the end of this week as well. So
And don't just follow Noble. Follow all the people in the chat. 'Cause we're good. I can't really vouch for Corey right now because he hadn't proved himself too much in this conversation. But
and make sure y'all.
Listen,
he
stop
is.
Corey, you
There
ready?
he is.
at me like
See, I
that.
knew if I said something sly, he was gonna come on.
You want to because you want to be
No, actually, I was actually being facetious.
No,
I was actually being
no.
facetious, and Noble
No,
knew it.
you say I was real. You try to
See, that's why you going out.
I was gonna say,
No.
Corey, you breaking up, OG. Keep go on mute and keep driving a little bit until you get into a better area. What happened, Miss Cass? He ran to that phone. Oh my gosh, Corey, you going in and out right now?
You saw I was literally joking. I said that just because I knew that would draw him into the phone. I knew that.
So we're gonna move on to something else. Corey, we'll keep you up here, OG. Just keep driving until you get to a better position. We're gonna have Miss Cass speak on something.